Hello dear World of Warcraft friends, welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today we're going to dive a bit deeper into the previews for patch 12.1. We'll take another look at all the tier sets that will be available from then on. What's important here are the tier set bonuses. If you want to check them out, you'll find all of them linked on the page where I'm showing you the pictures from. It would actually be a bit much if we went through all the different bonuses for all 40 specs right now. However, I'd say the set bonuses are kept relatively simple this time as well. So either something ticks faster, you get more resources, or something does more damage. Yeah, it's not particularly creative, but we'll take it as it is. And also a note, everything is organized by LFR, FR, Normal, HC, Mythic, PvP, and the PvP Elite set. So Gladiator and Elite, that means in this order the first 4 sets are the PvE sets for each class, and after that it continues with the PvP sets. We have a total of 78 images to look at, and that's what we're going to do now. Feel free to write in the comments which set is your favorite. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, that would make me really happy. Let's really get going again with patch 12.1, so let's go. So you just saw the Death Knight. I have to say personally, I think these elite sets are insanely awesome. I'll never get my hands on them because I'm just way too bad at PvP, but these elite sets often come with this black and red pattern. It looks unbelievably awesome. So in 80% of the cases, those are actually my favorite sets. With the Demon Hunter, we have a bit of those hellhounds or whatever they're called. That's what the shoulders are supposed to represent here. So relatively large shoulders. Again, quite a bit of skin being shown. And all in all, let me mention again here, the Mythic and Elite sets also have special bonuses. They do have an additional glow effect though. If you then, for example, reach 2.5k rating, you'll get an item that makes this animation, etc. Can also be applied to the normal LFR and similar versions. You can then enable or disable it in the transmog window. An additional item will be included for that. Otherwise, all set items will be available starting August 19th. Because that's when the raid opens. That's when the new Mythic Plus season begins. You can use the catalyst before that. Of course, nothing drops yet. Nothing yet. Druid is a set that I really like at this point with this tree bark or tree trunk look. Here is the Gladiator set or the Elite set, also wrapped in a kind of purple pink. I also think it's really nice here. So the color variations look really good. Here you can see Evoker at this point. This is the Mythic Raid variant. This is Gladiator. This is Elite. And here too, I have to say the sets definitely have something special. Fortunately, WoW had skipped the preview here of how the sets look on the dragon form, because let's be honest, they don't really look particularly great there. But I actually like this quite a lot here, just to put it that way. After that, we have the Hunter, with a few fangs here on the shoulders, on the helmet. Actually, there are fangs everywhere. As far as I can tell, it's supposed to be a snake. It's a very, very fitting symbol for patch 12.1 because, you know, snakes and poison and all that. Here, the Elite set is also really, really nice, again with the color variants. Next up is the Mage. And here I have to say the blue color variant especially stands out. So I think the whole thing is supposed to represent icicles on each piece of gear. And here is the normal variant, I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But for me, this is the perfect Frost Mage set. Not just in general, but this is what I imagine when I think of a Frost Mage, more or less. Do you see it the same way? Feel free to write it in the comments. And here's the Elite set as well, this time with a purple touch. After that, we have the Monk. One thing I generally don't like at all are these barefoot sets. I just think, I don't know, I have feet, I don't get it. And also here in the game, I think it always looks kind of silly when we're facing the biggest threat in the world and then someone is running around barefoot. Otherwise, I don't really know what to think of this set. It has a lot of potential, especially with those feathers on the head. I'm not sure about that, but I think this color variant is pretty cool. But it definitely wouldn't be my favorite. Paladin comes across as pretty simple, but still classic in the typical Paladin color tones. That definitely looks like a big, heavy plate set. So yeah. I think that fits the class pretty well, just like the priest. For me personally, it's one of the most beautiful sets. I like those headpieces where something floats behind the helmet and glows a bit. I like those big shoulders. I like the one with those masks on the shoulders that really pop. So that really looks really, really awesome. And it also comes in numerous color variations, so it's an all-around great set. I have to say we can't say the same about this one. I'm generally not a big fan of rogues. I think most people have probably noticed that by now. And for me, the rogue sets are almost always the worst in the entire game with every patch. I can't describe it any other way. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. I don't know why you're half bare-chested, why the arms are exposed. I don't get it. I absolutely don't like this set. It's not nice. If there's anyone who likes it, feel free to write it in the comments, but I can hardly imagine that. Shaman goes back to a design element they use very, very often. Some kind of animal motif coming out of the shoulders. In this case, it's snakes. But it's a stylistic element that I personally find very, very cool. Especially here with the mythic set, it comes across really, really nicely. You get that with all the variants and here too. For me, it might not scream shaman at first glance, but if you take a closer look, there are a few totem elements marked on it, like all these wooden splinters here and so on. I really like it. Same as the Warlock set. For me, it's one of the most beautiful. The gloves are absolutely awesome. Broken chains attached. Then the way they glow, these huge horns on the shoulders and helmet, I really, really like it. It definitely has something special. And last but not least, the warrior. I have to say again, I don't know where these little horns and other things come from. So what this is supposed to represent here, personally, this wouldn't be my favorite either. But in the end, it's hard to say the sets are bad or the sets are good. Everyone has different tastes, thank God. And yeah, I'm sure that even with the rogue set, there will be someone who likes the whole thing. I'm very, very sure about that. But anyway, as I said, feel free to write your opinion in the comments. For me, my top three are in order priest. I think that set is by far the coolest. I'm not quite sure which color variant. I think one of those. And the two down here, but I really, really, really like it. Warlock comes right after that. I think it's an all-around successful set. And after that, for me, it's actually the mage. At least this normal color variant here. It looks extremely nice. As a druid main, I'm not unhappy with my set, so it doesn't look bad at all. But it doesn't blow me away either, you know? I have to be honest about that at this point. With that, thank you very much for watching. As I said, leave it in the comments. See you in the next video. Take care and have a good time.